Hey, YouTube, and welcome back to a new video with Rams fan YT. And in today's video, we're going to be going over your Premier League club's best January transfer. We did this for quite a while on my YouTube channel, and then it sort of didn't do very well, so I sort of stopped doing it. But I enjoy making these types of videos, so especially assuming it's unlikely for me to be able to get to a game this weekend with the weather as it is, I decided to sit down and record this video for you to enjoy for this weekend. Now, Arsenal didn't make a signing, so we're going to be starting with Aston Villa with Tammy Abraham. Abraham makes a variety of movements to aid his team's attacks. His main threat is targeting the space in behind an opposing defence to chase through balls. He's direct, penetrative, and clever runs lead to regular goal-scoring chances. Abraham tends to score most of his goals from instinctive efforts, either inside or near the penalty area, and he excels when he has limited time and space. He has an impressive eye for goal, and he adapts his body shape and the type of finish he uses to get his shot off early and gives himself the best possible chance of scoring. He can therefore score when there are players between him and the goal and will capitalise on a goalkeeper being unsighted. His height and aerial ability also offers teammates an alternative route to finding him in the area. In a crowded penalty area, he can shift the ball away from a defender, and doing so can create an angle for him to shoot. He also has good enough close control and strength to hold off an opponent when he has his back to goal before attempting to roll them and shoot. He's good playing off one touch and can set a pass to a teammate. Throughout his time in the Italian capital, Abraham has either played as the lone striker in Roma's 4-2-3-1 or as one of the top two up front in a 3-5-2. Abraham operates well on the last shoulder of the opposition's defensive line. Doing so creates more opportunities for him to get in behind or simply force the opposition's central defenders back and create space for attacking midfielders to operate in. While when he is a lone striker, Abraham is the main target of crosses delivered by advancing fullbacks. Meanwhile, unless the three attacking midfielders are all in central positions, he will also link up play by withdrawing into deeper positions. The 3-5-2 shape encourages him to drift across the pitch and draw his marker out of position. This then creates more space for the wingback to attack into. Abraham has had some success from crosses in Serie A, using his intelligent movement and height to get on the ball, on the end of balls into the box. In the 3-5-2, he receives direct passes from Roma's defenders more often, and when this happens, Abraham will look to find one of Roma's attacking central midfielders who has made a forward run. After doing so, he is likely to spin and sprint into a central attacking position to threaten goal and attack crosses. Abraham has also benefited from the central midfielder's forward runs. When those runs are tracked by the central defender, Abraham will look to exploit the space they have vacated. Bournemouth, a player called Ryan. Ryan is essentially a replacement for Semenyo and is expected to be used from a right flank in the short to medium term. But rather than being an out-and-out winger who stretches the width of the pitch by hugging the touchline, he should theoretically offer a similar degree of goal threat to the man he is replacing. Ryan is perhaps a little less flashy, but has ox-like running power, allowing him to hold off defenders, barge through them, or simply knock the ball round beyond them. This combination of physical power and raw pace makes Ryan an explosive weapon, especially when carrying the ball over considerable distances. As a result, he's a danger in transition, and Bournemouth have been renowned for their quality when attacking quickly. Ryan was in a style that suits his abilities and profile, and it made him one of the most effective and dangerous attackers in Brazil last year. He can beat his man and is a very willing carrier of the ball. Furthermore, given he can also add his height, as he is over 6 feet tall and potentially still growing, to his list of strengths. There's plenty of evidence to suggest that his future lies as a number 9. This is realistic, assuming Ryan's presence in the box and finishing consistency continue to improve. In fact, in 2025, under Fernando Diniz, Ryan played a reasonable amount of football through the middle. He has a tendency to cut inside onto his left foot, meaning he frequently takes up central positions. Ryan was probably the most complete player in the Brazilian league last season. He's a player who can play on both sides of the field. He can play as a number 10 and as a number 9 with the same ease. He's a tall, left-footed, fast young player. He doesn't need to take a run up to the ball to shoot and shoots from any distance. He has a great knack for scoring goals, a complete striker, as I said. Ryan's broad range of strengths and qualities helps make him a versatile forward. Ryan will shoot from almost anywhere. His left foot is a force of nature, and he's not too shy about using it. It's a manifestation of the belief that he has in his own ability. And to be fair, he is a threat from range. Of the 41 players to attempt at least 20 shots from outside of the box in the Brazilian Serie A last season, only 5 got a greater proportion on target than Ryan at 40.4%. On top of that, his 47 attempts from outside the box was at least 19 more than those 5 above him. This element of his game, combined with his left-footedness and strength from the ball, have led to comparisons with former Brazilian striker Adriano. Despite Ryan mostly being considered a wide player during considered a wide player, among his 14 Serie A goals last season were a couple of poachers' efforts and 3 towering headers to go with some of his more elaborate goals. Long-range strikes are both following long busting runs, and he's also shown promise with respect to bringing others into play. His significant frame and strength make Ryan a good target, and he appears adept at receiving with his back to goal before quickly offloading. It may not be glamorous, but it's the kind of work a centre-forwards sometimes need to get through. For the most part, he does look at ease receiving and resisting contact, refusing to be overawed by the prospect of a big burly centre-back barging into him from behind. He can dribble, and he knows how to build up the play. He knows how to play 1-2s. He knows how to switch for play when he's needed in the first phase of build-up. He's there. When he needs to drop to one side, he drops. He's starting to make better use of his jumping ability, and he's a very athletic player. For a young player, it's quite impressive, really, how physical Ryan actually is. Among forwards to engage in at least 30 aerial duels in 2025, his 55.1% success rate was the 6th best, and only 8 forwards contested more aerials than him at 107. Undoubtedly, though, he's at his most dangerous when allowed to charge forward on the ball. No player in the Brazilian Serie A last season tallied more carries, which means movements of at least 5 meters with the ball, ending in a shot at 33, than Ryan. His 5-goal ending carries was bettered by only 2 players who both had 6, and highlights the danger he posed when running at speed. By comparison, he tallied 7 carries, ending with a chance created, while his total of 33 opportunities laid on to teammates equated to 2.1 expected assists. His 14 Serie A goals made him the joint 4th highest scorer in 2025, while his 12 non-penalty goals was only bettered by just 3 players. He did considerably outperform it in relation to his non-pen XG, though with only 2 players doing so to a greater degree than him at plus 4.68. If the strongest areas of his game continue developing as he adapts to the Premier League, his potential could be frightening. Brentford, K. Farrow. He is a physical player and is strong in the duel. This makes it difficult to move Farrow off the ball due to his strong build, and he wins many duels both in the air and on the ground. His explosive turn of pace combines with power, making him a constant threat in transition moments due to his quick starts and vertical runs. He has an eye for goals and is efficient in finishing, both with his right foot and with his head. He has a good sense of when to start a run and creates a threat with his movements in the back of a defence. He is especially dangerous in the air due to his height, timing, and jumping ability, especially with crosses and set pieces. He has shown a strong work ethic and mentality with a hunger for goals, and at 18, he has plenty of opportunity to develop further. Brighton and Hove Albion, Pascal Gross. Gross has returned to Brighton, where he spent 7 years and made over 200 appearances before he left in 2024. And I'm sure Seagull fans are delighted for the German's return. The versatile midfielder can play as either a central midfielder, a right wing back, a playmaking attacking midfielder, to a tempo-setting holding midfielder. Gross stands out for his ability on the ball, with numerous shot-creating actions a game, making key passes, and his expected assists stands head and shoulders above fellow teammates. His pass completion rate is always amongst the highest in the teams he plays for, and last time he was in the Premier League in 2023-24, he was the second highest chance creator behind Bruno Fernandes. He is also an accomplished set-piece taker, known for his accurate free kicks and corners. Above all else, he's experienced and knows Brighton well. Burnley, James Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse is a technically gifted player with a vast passing range, vision, and the ability to play high-quality final balls to attackers. In the earlier stages of his career, that meant he was a useful midfielder when his team were in possession, but he also needed support behind him. He was often shunted to the right side of midfield as managers tried to make the best use of his exceptional crossing. In his early 30s, he has defensive intelligence, is aware to the extent that he can play as part of a two in the central midfield. He is a more complete midfielder who provides attacking threat, defensive solidity, creativity, and passing ability all at the same time. It has been no surprise that he has been in the England squad. Ward-Prowse is one of very few English midfielders who can provide a forward thrust with his powerful supporting runs, as well as defensive cover. However, Ward-Prowse is most comfortable coming deep to look for the ball, and he is progressive with his passing once he receives it. He often looks for a quick, direct ball forward to runners in behind, or passes to an attacking midfielder between the lines with a swift vertical delivery. He sparks attacks into life with daring passes. When play is being built with longer passing sequences, Ward-Prowse can ignite an attack with his exceptional cross-field passing to find a runner from deep, usually a fullback or a winger making a run in behind. To get into a position underneath the ball and in space to receive facing forwards, he times his movement cleverly. That movement can create opportunities for first-time through balls to be played through the middle of the pitch by him, drawing a central opponent out of position and a teammate identifying a chance to run through on goal. Without the ball, he is an aggressive presser and is capable either the first defender to engage the ball or as part of the second wave that supports the first line of a press. He defends on the front foot and, despite his relatively modest stature, is able to compete physically with most opponents. His assertiveness means he can both secure loose balls and dispossess his opponents with tackles. In that sense, he is an ideal holding midfielder. His dead ball ability is regardless comparable with the best. He has worked on his technique since a very young age, having studied the likes of David Beckham when he was growing up. He achieves real whip on the crosses, making them inviting for teammates to attack, and he is capable of getting the ball up and down with accuracy from free kick attempts on goal. The power he gets on his shots is impressive, but what stands out more is how much he kicks across the ball to generate the spin needed to curl it away from the goalkeeper to ensure it dips after going up over the wall. He uses a similar technique at corners, meaning his crosses have pace on them and often just guiding towards goal. The player who attacks it often doesn't need to generate much extra power on the header to score. In a 4-4-2 formation, Ward-Prowse would be in a midfield 2 alongside a more defensive-minded player, meaning Burnley can break at speed at attacking transitions. Ward-Prowse is key to finding the forward runs of wingers with accurate passes that set them on their way. His energy in midfield means he can play in a 2, though being able to get up and down the pitch to keep up with the play. He is also suited to a pressing game, supporting a front four press and getting himself into a position to pounce on any pass into midfield if the opposition managed to transition into a quick counter. His reading of the game and anticipation means he is suited to that role, following up a press and ready to sweep up passes that are misplaced. He is consistently among the very best in the Premier League for recoveries, the total number of times the player regains possession, that is. Largely due to the fact he is so regularly in the right place at the right time to collect a loose ball. In possession, Ward-Prowse can drop into a fullback position on either side of a pitch, and the fullback pushing high and the wide midfielder, Ward-Prowse will look to find either the fullback or the wide midfielder with a pass. His history as a right-sided midfielder also means he sometimes moves on the outside of the fullback to receive a pass. When he moves wide and does so, the moment he lifts his head to see where his teammates are, acts as a trigger for those ahead of him to run beyond the opposition's back line. Ward-Prowse then looks for their runs with a whip ball in behind or a drilled ball into the channel. Ward-Prowse is key to playing direct passing football. He has developed from something of a luxury player into a genuinely top-class midfielder who provides the foundation for his team's attacks and his passing. But one who is also both tenacious in his tackling and positionally aware. Ward-Prowse is a wonderfully balanced, complete midfielder, and he is among the best in the Premier League. Chelsea is one of the 4 big 6 clubs to have not made a signing. So we're moving on to Crystal Palace with a deadline day signing of Jørgen Strand Larsen. Strand Larsen caught the eye in Spain as a physical frontman who could be a reliable threat in the box, getting goals from instinctive finishes or headers. His profile understandably made him an attractive option for English clubs. Much of that comes down to the presence he has and impact he's made in front of goal. Strand Larsen has shown predatory instincts in the danger zone. His movement inside the box is excellent. The crosses get put into the box, and the more of a threat he is because he attacks them just so well. He kind of drifts off the back of defenders, and the timing of his movements inside the box is excellent. While not every attempt or goal requires such thoughtful anticipation, this is reflective of a broader predatory nature that Strand Larsen possesses. For instance, last season, among the players to have attempted at least 20 shots, only 4 have seen a greater proportion taken inside the area than his 95.9%, which was 47 out of 49 shots. And yet, curiously, he's the only player to have scored with 100% of his shots from outside the box, among those who've attempted more than one from past the 18-yard line. As a centre forward, the proportion of his shots taking place in the area tells us a reasonable amount about Strand Larsen's mindset and the type of striker he is. A genuine focal point and almost something of a throwback or a classic number 9. Of course, taking most of your shots in the area doesn't in isolation mean you're a great centre forward or a good finisher. But Strand Larsen can certainly claim to have been reliable in those decisive moments. For starter, he's hit the target with 65.3% of his shots in the top flight last season, which is the highest proportion of all players to have played at least 900 minutes and attempted 3 or more shots. And furthermore, among the 193 players who've recorded more than 15 shots, excluding penalties in the Premier League last season, only 2 have averaged a greater non-penalty expected goals figure than Strand Larsen of 0.19, which reflects his ability to find dangerous positions. Such reliability and positional understanding is particularly key for a player in a team who are now likely to be scrapping for any points they can get their hands on. And it also translates to a good track record in relation to actually beating the goalkeeper. With 14 goals in the Premier League last season, he equalled his best goals output with Groningen in the 2021-22 Eredivisie, a conversion rate of 24.5%, which only 4 players can better last season. Among players to have attempted at least 9 headed shots, excluding those blocked in the Premier League last season, only 2 have a greater proportion on target than Strand Larsen at 69.2%. The more crosses you get then, the more likely Strand Larsen is to score. Everton, Tyreek George. George is a right-footed attacker who is able to play on both wings and as an attacking midfielder, although he's mostly developed as a left winger. Deployed rather. He is confident and skillful, capable of carrying the ball forward, dribbling through traffic, and delivering highly technical shots. When operating from the left as a right footer, he looks to cut inside and deliver powerful shots with strong accuracy even from distance. George has impressive finishing skills, which are well supported by his ball control. His disguise on the ball, allied to nifty footwork and a shoulder drop, makes it difficult for his direct opponent to predict when he will choose to cut inside. This gives him a momentary space not only to shoot but also to deliver crosses and cutbacks. George can deliver accurate shots, crosses, and long passes with minimal backlift, making his actions on the ball difficult to stop. He has the ability to work around and operate from the right side, and his ambipedality, it's a very hard word to say, sure helps in this sense. His agility, shown in an ability to shift both the ball and his body balance, helps create link-up play opportunities and assists with his 1v1 attacking in general. Having a strong first touch, he can trap the ball and carry on his intended action with relative ease. His work on the ball is top-notch. The way he drops his shoulder and the way he carries the ball often encourages his direct opponent to lunge for possession, which he evades by combining this drop of the shoulder with his acceleration, pace, and movement. Like that, he shows good ability to work past his direct opponent and run the channels. To be a key player for the team's offensive momentum, George shows great spatial awareness and discipline. He shows intelligence in how and where to position himself. This allows him to occupy space in more central areas, where he is as impactful as he is playing wide. And one particular strength here is his ability to play in tight spaces. When drifting inwards to receive in half space, his underrated physicality and body strength really show. He is clever in shielding the ball from opponents and in using his body to turn defenders. His understanding of his surroundings adds to this. Like that, he is able to combine with teammates with quick passes or escape a defender and run towards goal. George often drops in deep in order to support play-up. He is a solid passer. His technique shows in his passing abilities, and he is able to deliver very well-weighted passes. Defensively, George shows willingness to close down and help in the defensive transitions and out of possession phases. He doesn't engage in duels very often, but when he does, his tackles do tend to be clean. He also does well in pressing and forcing errors from the opposition. At 19 years old, he has time to improve. He just needs the game time. And although he did accumulate more performances and numbers for the under-21s, in most of them, he came off the bench. But I think this should change for this season. Sorry, I think that's just a bit of, I think he should, if he gets the regular opportunity at Everton, I think, but he'll probably come off the bench is what I'm trying to say. But he's certainly got an option to have. Fulham, Oscar Bob. For starters, playing in the pockets means getting on the ball in tight areas around the edge of the opposition penalty box. And Bob is indeed well suited to this. Like Phil Foden, he is very good at receiving the ball on the back foot, swiveling and then pushing the ball forward with his other foot. Those who have worked with Bob believe he may even favour assists over scoring goals. In 2 Premier League 2 seasons, he got 26 assists in total, as well as 13 goals. In tight areas, he uses this ability to turn quickly to help change the pace of attacks. Note also his quick feet inside the penalty area to fashion a chance for himself. He uses his frame to put himself between the ball and his opponent, which helps him keep possession in tight areas, and he also wins a lot of fouls after changing direction and fooling a defender. He has also played as a false 9 for City and been asked to collect balls from the keeper into his feet, which he generally does well due to that ability to shield the ball. Bob is also a very capable dribbler. While not as dynamic, he is similar to Jeremy Doku in terms of how he keeps the ball close to him and generally likes to receive it into his feet. Once in motion, he is stylistically similar to Bernardo Silva in the way he can produce several touches in quick succession, which combined with his body movements, that can trick a defender into going the opposite way. And that can help him beat several men in tight areas. Those who work with Bob say he regularly makes good decisions, and this helps him pick his moments when dribbling, often beating his man in a one-on-one. A key trait for City wingers in the past few seasons has been the ability to slow the game down as well as speed it up by doing things like making extra passes or taking extra touches. And while Bob has shown that he can make things happen from a standing start, he has also shown a good appreciation of what the team needs in different circumstances, namely keeping hold of the ball even when there is a chance to drive forward or counter-attack. He also has the ability to retain possession when needed. His work ethic is unbelievable. While he has only played 26 Premier League matches in his career, he is on 1.54 tackles and interceptions per 90 minutes, which highlights his determination to do the defensive side of the game. While Bob likes the ball to feet and to beat men in small spaces, he is also willing to make runs in behind the defender to get onto through balls and balls over the top. He has also shown his ability to find runs to the byline with passes. He also used his movements to manipulate his opponent, dragging the ball towards him or moving a touch backwards. He can then release a perfectly weighted pass. Leeds United, Facundo Buonanotte. Buonanotte is direct, loving to drive at defenders, drift into central areas, and get into positions where he can score or assist. He's got that South American flair, quick feet, clever turns, and a real eye for goal. Buonanotte is dangerous in the final third where he scores, shoots, or just gets into a better position to affect the game. If you're looking for a player who, in a tight game with a moment of quality to either score a goal or to do a clever run, Buonanotte is the guy. He's adventurous, decisive, and fun to watch if you enjoy a bit of flair and risk-taking. Liverpool didn't sign anyone, so on to Manchester City with Antoine Semenyo. Known for his combination of pace, technical ability, directness, and versatility, comfortable playing on either flank or centrally, Semenyo has been a forward in Premier League defences ever since he arrived from Bristol City in 2023. Comfortable using both feet to a high level when it comes to dribbling and ball striking, which makes him a constant threat in 1v1 scenarios. Semenyo creates a sense of unpredictability for opposing defenders. The new Man City forward completes about half of his attempted dribbles, while his role in Andoni Irola's high-intensity aggressive pressing system hasn't seen much change. Semenyo's ability to take his chances in front of goal has seen a steady increase. I managed to score 12 goals from an XG of 6.64. Although overperforming XG can be viewed as a negative and unsustainable, in Semenyo's case, that's far from the truth. As the 25-year-old has managed to outscore his XG in all 3 full seasons he's had on the South Coast, scoring 11 goals from a 9.98 XG last campaign. Semenyo is a player with confidence. He's been growing every season. He has played in the lower divisions, earning his way to the Premier League, and now he's improving. He's adding things to his game. Semenyo has scored 30 goals and registered 10 assists in 101 appearances across all competitions since arriving at the Vitality Stadium, helping Bournemouth attain a record points tally of 56 and a joint highest Premier League finish of 9th. Manchester United didn't sign anyone, neither did Newcastle, so we're on to Nottingham Forest with Luca Netz. Netz is a left-sided specialist. It is likely he can control the entire side on his own during any game against any opponent. In terms of style and profile, he's similar to the likes of Aït-Nouri. Netz stands at 5'11" tall and 83 kg in his weight. His build makes him perfect to be a modern-day fullback and wide player. His best attributes include his natural fitness, his crossing, dribbling, determination, tackling, and technique. The perfect strength for a left-sided player. It is no surprise he broke through into each age group at very early ages. He has the dream profile. Netz is arguably amongst the best young fullbacks in the world of football right now, and he has already tons of experience despite his age, and I think he is ready for that next step up to the Premier League. As previously said, Netz is a left side specialist, but he has also played 5 games as a centre-back in which he provided 1 assist. His games in the heart of defence have allowed him to develop his defensive awareness and defensive attributes that will help him understand and read the game better. His best position is certainly not a centre-back, but it is somewhere where he can play if need be. Nets has also played one game as a left winger. Similarly, to the centre-back position, it is somewhere he can play if he has ever needed to. The 21-year-old's main two positions are left-back and left midfield. He has played 62 games as a left midfielder, scoring 2 goals and providing 10 assists. And as a left-back, he has played 113 games, scoring 10 goals and picking up 19 assists. So he doesn't have a best position as such. He is versatile and able to perform consistently and to a high level and in both areas of the pitch. He is able to adapt to different systems, styles and managers. Nets is just a manager's dream. Sunderland, Nilsson Angulo. Angulo is currently the joint top goal scorer with Anderlecht with 6 goals and is also registered for most assists with the Belgian side with 5. He was certainly their best player, contributing significantly in an offensive and defensive sense. He has awareness and composure in front of goal. I believe with better players, his game will also improve. He's given some exciting goals and dribbles this season already, and physically he can cope with the Premier League, but I struggle to draw comparisons with a winger. At times, due to his improvements in defence, he's been employed as a left wing-back, and you can never question his commitment and work rate. It may come as a shock to be on the left when he is a right-footed player, but in the age of inverted wing-backs and his ability to use either foot to deliver a cross certainly makes it less of a worry. He can play on either wing for me, but I wouldn't personally play him centrally. He's a quiet lad who is hard-working and will keep his head down and isn't a dirty player by any stretch. Tottenham Hotspur, Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher has been praised over and over for his Frank Lampard-esque timing of runs into the penalty box. But the 25-year-old is so much more than just a late arriving goal poacher. Gallagher is fantastic out of possession, holding a highly important role in Atletico's defensive setup and ability to win the ball back high up the pitch. An energetic presser with loads of energy, Gallagher is a quintessential number 8, who could easily classify as a talented modern-day number 10. He's about running power, carrying ability, and, of course, goal-scoring ability from his impeccable off-the-ball movement. His dribbling success rate is obviously unreal for any player, let alone one who dribbles more than the majority of the players in his position. If defenders try and get touch tight, he's easily able to twinkle his toes and work it beyond them, or win a foul. But if given space, Gallagher will easily carry the ball forward or pass it off to someone else sprinting forward. The former Chelsea player has a great understanding of football, able to shift to the wide right when his right winger comes inside, and often overlapping down the right wing. Similarly, as the striker moves wide, Gallagher can easily adopt correct central positions in their stead. He's a great progressive carrier. He trusts his bulldozer skills and uses that to his best advantage, while constantly looking to create space for others. Not only is Conor Gallagher capable of winning fouls, but he's also the one they often rely on to take the subsequent set pieces. Free kicks, corners, you name it, Gallagher's on it. Then, as we all know, Gallagher is phenomenal at timing his runs, ghosting in and finishing off chances. His talent comes both from the sheer speed he has in his locker to quickly join attacks, but also from his astute awareness to seek out space and time his runs correctly. You'd think he's the player opposition clubs that most desperately attempt to stop, but instead the 25-year-old seems to ghost into the box as though he's underneath Harry Potter's invisibility cloak. From there, he can score headers, volleys, left-footed or right-footed strikes, with a stronger right foot responsible for most of his goals. As already mentioned, Conor Gallagher is far more than just a goal-scoring central midfielder. He's remarkably capable and sound in defence, playing a massive role for Simeone's team in helping to keep the ball out of the net. The Atletico man applied pressure 44 times per 90 when he last played in the Premier League in 2023-24, which ranks better than most of the players in his position. Encouragingly, his numbers in terms of pressing success, pressures in the attacking third, and tackle success are all up. This is in part down to Simeone's style, but also in part down to Gallagher's more astute uses of his aggression. To use a bit of a cliche term, Gallagher wants to get stuck in. He plays as if the football is his own personal ball and that he doesn't want to let anyone in the opposition have it for even a second. So whenever he's anywhere close to the ball, you can expect Gallagher to be putting a foot in or harrying the player away. When he's not so close to the ball, Gallagher shuffles well to block opponents' patterns, holding the line and shifting with the play. Gallagher exceptionally covers for his nearest teammates when needed. Similar to his astuteness of space in attack, the 25-year-old drops if he sees his defensive midfielder pushing higher, or shifts ever so slightly in behind if his winger goes to press. As the opposition progress into a creation stage of their own, Gallagher will then just wait outside of the box to block or intercept, or may even drop into the box if extra support is needed. On set pieces, he's often responsible for the opposition's goalkeeper disruptor, and then will quickly help to drive the team forward if and when the ball is cleared away. Gallagher's defensive work rate and desire to win the ball back have to be commended. West Ham United, Tati Castellanos. Castellanos is an untypical striker. He's difficult to evaluate as his main assets are not scoring goal, but is more of a team player who links up play and helps his teammates a lot with and without the ball. During his time with Lazio, he still had a decent output of 22 goals in 98 games in all competitions, and it is difficult to compare Castellanos with other strikers as he's a mixture of a target man, a second striker, and an attacking playmaker. Almost a cross between Edin Dzeko and Dimitar Berbatov without the physical presence and athleticism of these players. Maybe a bit like Richarlison, but still not entirely. He will probably be successful in the Premier League due to his determination and will have good chemistry with a range of attacking players, maybe able to place the ball on a plate for a winger to score. And finally, but not least, well, they probably are considering our bottom of the league, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Adam Armstrong. Armstrong is the joint third highest goal scorer in this season's championship, scoring 11 goals and has 4 assists. With Wolves pretty much certain to play championship football next season, it makes sense to bring in a striker who has achieved double figures of goals in all 4 of his last 4 seasons in the championship. He's versatile, able to play as a centre forward, a second striker, a winger on either side, or an attacking midfielder. At the age of 28, the Geordie is in his peak years and provides valuable championship experience, something distinctively lacking in the Wolves squad when they inevitably do go down. The number of shots per 90s taken is at 3.84. Armstrong is best at moving into space and getting off a shot, but can also run onto the ball off the flanks, shooting across goal. He's technically gifted, runs really hard, and moves infield in possession. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please do subscribe. If you're new around here, that would be hugely appreciated. If you do enjoy this, I'll probably do it down all the way down to tier 6. And it sort of becomes a bit more less statty as you go down there and a bit more, just looking at the actual player. But yes, I shall see you all probably for my predictions video next week. But goodbye for now.